get excited. Let me get excited. Here we are. We are here. It is the Island of Relevancy podcast. I'm not a baby face. I'm not a heel. I'm a human being. I'm your host. I am T, and we got Frank in the building. How you feeling, Frank?
I'm exhausted, to be honest with you.
I felt that. I
I,
felt that a lot.
I'm emotionally touched from Raw, or was it SmackDown? Which one was it? Raw?
It was definitely Raw.
It was Raw. Okay, Raw. Yeah, it was Raw. I'm still emotionally touched from Raw, so that's why I wore my NWO shirt.
Man, so I watched the Raw promo again at about an hour ago, and it still I didn't realize it was 26 minutes. It
Yeah,
was 26 minutes of people cheering and booing very loudly. Well, it was a lot more boos than it was cheers.
He was only supposed to get 11 minutes. Which, and I want to talk about that down the road. I want to talk about that. I don't understand that they cut the, and we're going to talk about Raw in a few minutes, but they cut the Jey Uso Austin Theory match down because Cena went long, but they're on Netflix and they have their own time schedule. So what the hell?
Correct. We'll definitely get into that a little bit later because they did hit the sweet spot, like we said, of that 2.5 hour thing.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't be the rule.
No.
That definitely should not be the rule moving forward.
No.
But let's go ahead and rewind back to SmackDown. SmackDown was where was SmackDown? That was in Spain.
It was in Spain.
That was in Barcelona. So
Yes.
I will say before we get to SmackDown, the WWE just needs to stay overseas. Like the overseas crowd are amazing. They're just fantastic. We should earn the right for them to come back as Americans because we have not earned it those last few weeks of the crowd just being into it.
No, I it's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy how ridiculously good they are over there in every way, shape, and form. It blows my mind, and I love it.
Yes, it made a very, I don't want to call it average. It may be slightly above average SmackDown. It made it that much better. There was some matches that probably should not have gotten the reactions that it got, but they got them because the crowd was hot. I mean, from the beginning of the show, the crowd was just extremely hot.
Yep. And they always are over there. We saw it with in France with Jey Uso with the yeeting.
Correct. So Jey Uso, I felt like his, and we'll definitely get to that. Where did my SmackDown? Here we go. SmackDown results.
Yeah.
So
started off
SmackDown happened. Why is my computer freezing up? Here we go. SmackDown happened. It was definitely a show that existed.
Mm-hmm.
But this will not. Here we go. No. Oh wow. What is happening right now? My computer just says, you know what? I don't want you to do anything. And it's let me pull up the SmackDown results.
Sorry, I was reposting our thing. So we kick off in Barcelona, right? And we get Jimmy Uso comes out, and he just wants to get on the WrestleMania card, and he wants to challenge for the US title. And then the Bloodline. Well, I don't know what they are now. Solo, Jacob, and Tama Tonga came out, and there's a nice little clip of Solo almost dropping an F-bomb on SmackDown, circulating the internet. When you can find that, it was kind of hilarious.
It was.
In a nutshell, we get a triple threat. We are not triple threat. I'm sorry. We get a 6-man tag. We get Solo, Jacob, and Tama versus LA Knight, Braun Strowman, and Jimmy Uso. It was a match.
It was a match. Yeah, exactly. It was a match. It happened. Like Braun Strowman, I feel like should be so much more of an attraction, but like there's just something about him that I feel like we lost it. His feud with Roman was probably one of the best moments of his career when him and Roman when he flipped the ambulance. And after that, it's kind of just been like he just comes out and he has banger matches every now
Yeah,
and then. Like he'll come out there and have a just him and Bronson Reed, they had a great match. Like him and Jacob Fatu, they're gonna tear like they tear it down
oh
every
yeah.
time they fight, but it's just I don't care.
It-
Like at the end of it, like you just I find I struggle to care because a lot of times they book him to lose when I
right.
feel like they shouldn't. And yeah, it
It,
loses its luster.
so Knight, Strowman, and Jimmy Uso won. Um, when LA Knight came down, he didn't talk for a good long minute or two, let the crowd cheer and sing, and that's great. Love
Yeah.
that. Um, and then Braun Strowman did his thing, and Solo did his thing, and Jacob did his thing, and then we move on to the next match.
Yeah. Yeah. It
And
happened.
and the next match was, I believe this was Charlotte's first match. Before that, we had the little Kathy Kelly, Jade Cargill interview in the stands. They showed the pre-recorded interview with Liv and Raquel coming in and talking all kinds of smack to Jade.
Yes. So random too. It was like you have the interview where they're supposed to be in the arena by themselves. It's like
Right.
they found their way to them just to talk trash to her, which is hilarious to me,
I it
which is
yeah,
great.
it's great. But then we go to B-Fab wrestling Charlotte. And I mean, B-Fab's not ready yet to wrestle. She's
Not
still
Charlotte, no.
not
Yeah, no.
no, not Charlotte. And normally, like when you have a match like that, you're gonna get the more experienced person able to carry through the match. And I half watched it, and there were definitely a couple of sequences where you're like, ooh, oh, oh. But you know, eh, it is what it is, right?
What I will say is BFAB has improved. Like
Yeah,
I don't
I don't
like
like it.
she has gotten a lot better in the ring and she's getting better weekly. She has the look. Like she reminds me of Alicia Fox. Like
Okay, yeah,
she has that she has this look to her where she just kind of looks regal. She has the perfect look, long, slender. Like
mhm,
she looks like she could do a lot in the ring.
yeah.
She just has to put it together. Like
Right.
now I think it's time to put it together.
Well, it's the same thing with what's her name from it was with Chad Gable. Maxine.
Maxine Dupri,
Same
yes,
thing. She's
correct.
improving little by little by little. She's improving, and that's good. Um, Charlotte won with a natural selection into a figure eight, and then she held the hold until Tiffany came down, and then they fought, and then they brawled all over the damn arena. That stuff I like. That was fine. Um, I, yeah, it is. It is what
So
it is.
so
You know.
did you see the gifs and like on X they were talking about how Tiffany tried to dive on Charlotte but hit everybody but Charlotte? Like she did
Yeah.
she did the flip off of the or the swanton off the top of the stage and hit all of the security and Charlotte's like on the side and she just totally missed her. Hilarious.
Maybe
Great times.
now that Jeff Hardy is circling around in WWE, he can come and help her learn how to swanton better. I know you would love that.
I would that would warm my heart is to see Jeff Hardy in the ring with Tiffany Stratton teaching her how to do a swanton to land on people like a ton of bricks. That's
Then we go and we get the Miz TV, right? Miz is gonna have Cody Rhodes come out. Cody Rhodes came out and just beat the Miz up. Like that was it. Like Miz he's not talking to the Miz. He didn't want to talk to the Miz. Um, absolutely filler. Cody chit chat a little bit, called out John Cena, made sure he's going to show up next week, and then hit the music and leave. Like, yeah, okay.
yeah.
That's
Eh,
that's you know. I mean, the Miz did refer
SmackDown.
to John Cena as a great rapper, so there's also that.
The bless the Miz heart, man. I love the Miz and he deserves better.
He does, but And then backstage, we have Damien and Shinsuke getting into an argument. So they had a match. And then Drew showed up. And Priest won, even with the distraction. Actually, I'm sorry. I was wrong. Nakamura took control, and when he went for his finisher, Priest countered with the South Heaven choke slam, and then McIntyre interfered and caused a disqualification. Yes. My bad.
And beat him down.
And beat him down. And then there was some after match beating up, and he stomped his head after hitting a Claymore. Drew did. That's cool, I guess. You know.
I should care. I should care so much about this because those are two talented guys.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't understand. Like I don't. Honestly, there's like one storyline. There's two storylines right now, and everything else just kind of is here.
It feels that way. One of the notes on this match: Stratton and Flair had over a dozen security guards trying to keep them apart, but only one ref showed up to stop Drew.
Yes.
I mean, okay.
He's bigger, I guess. They made it. They were still wrestling. You know, they were still corralling Charlotte and Tiffany up. They didn't stop. They just kept going. That's why they were. That's why it was only one ref to stop. It's true.
And then we got what was actually a really good match. Then we get Randy Orton and Carmelo Hayes, and that was a really good match.
It was.
Hayes is good, and Orton's good with anybody.
Correct.
And you know, just out of nowhere, RKO out of nowhere.
He caught Carmelo with a power slam out of nowhere. Like he had a few just. Randy Orton's so good, and Carmelo is such a good dance partner. And then you get like they had a better match than they should have had. Like
their styles
like on SmackDown.
Yeah, and their styles are so different because Orton's more of a grounded guy, and Hayes is a little bit more of a flyer, and it was great. So at the beginning of the match, Carmelo held out his hand and then yanked it away on Orton. So at the end of the match, Orton offered his hand. And Hayes said no, so he RKO'd him, which is Randy Orton.
Carmelo Hayes sold those RKOs like,
yeah,
man, those are some vicious RKO. Like he got hit twice, and both of them, the second one looked like it might have broke his neck. Like the way he sold it, he was like a lawn dart just going straight into the mat. It was gruesome.
And I like the way they're teasing the punt, and he's backing up to do the punt, and this is the second or third time now where he's about to do the punt and something stops him, and he saw KO out of the corner of his eye, and he jumped after him and chased KO out of the arena. I like the fact that he's not punting everyone, so that when he actually connects with it, it's going to mean something, and Correct. It's probably going to be with KO at WrestleMania is when he gets the punt, and unfortunately, KO is probably going to take the loss at WrestleMania. Unless they double DQ him somehow. Like, I see Orton wanting to put Owens over, but I don't know. It's going to be
punt him after he loses the match.
Yeah,
like he's gonna punt. He's gonna punt KO. Like that is for sure going to happen. But he might do it after he loses the match because KO he doesn't need the win, but he kind of needs the win. Yeah. Like he doesn't need the win because like KO can take losses. He takes the loss to Cody, and he's still at the top of the card.
Yep.
Like he doesn't need those wins, but this is a big win over the 14-time world heavyweight champion in Randy Orton. Like that's a big deal. It's bigger than people make it out to be. Like Randy Orton is still Randy Orton. Like he's not John Cena.
No.
And that's only because you say he's not John Cena. Like he's done pretty much everything John Cena on the heel end of things. Like he's been the epic heel for, decades. And I mean, it beat Randy Orton at WrestleMania. There's a lot of people who can't say that they've done that.
Exactly.
And I think that,
through all the matches, you got the crowd is popping off the whole time through every match. And it's something, if you've never seen it, watch some clips of it. It's great, and I'm sure when they're
Yeah,
in Italy this Monday wait, tomorrow? Are they in Italy? Tomorrow, it's
tomorrow.
gonna be the
They're in
same
Italy
thing.
tomorrow. Mhm.
Um, then we get a match for the home crowd. We get Gunther versus Axiom, right? And I didn't know who
Banger.
Axiom was. He's part of an NXT tag team, right?
Yes, he is the NXT Tag Team Champion, part of Fraxium,
Okay,
Nathan Frazier and Axiom.
okay.
So Gunther does really well fighting against smaller guys. Like if you've seen any Ilya Dragunov, they had probably one of the greatest matches in NXT history
Mhm.
for the NXT championship. But Gunther against the smaller guys, he's so physically imposing already, but he can mesh with their style, and Axiom is phenomenal.
Yeah,
Like Axiom is amazing in the ring. He's so fast. He doesn't slow down. That's part of their slogan, never slow down. But it just this guy, he can just go, and it was perfect because he was in his hometown.
and the crowd was
And
so hot for him, and this
yes,
match ended up being way better than you would expect. You would think this would just be a quick little squash. Uh-uh. That was like a highlight reel of aerial stuff and vicious slaps and, you know, obviously Gunther won, but they didn't make Axiom look bad with that
no,
at all.
no, not in his hometown. I mean, like
No.
this is a great showcase because Fraxium,
Mhm.
terrible name by the way. Um, they're such a good tag team. Like the Hardy Boys beat them. The Hardys beat them 2 weeks ago at NXT Roadblock, and they shouldn't have. This team, like
Right.
Nathan Frazier, Axiom, those guys can go. They're so fast. They have a mesh of styles. Like Axiom can do almost a little bit of everything. He can
Mhm.
slow it down. He's a technical guy too, but he's so fast though.
Saying the
And
Hardys
him
aren't
and
fast
him and
anymore?
excuse me.
Are you saying the Hardys aren't fast anymore?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. They are not fast anymore. They've lost a step or two. No, and no shade to the Hardys. Like I know
No,
I talk trash about the Hardys. They are definitely an iconic tag team, but right now in 2025, there's no reason they should ever be able to keep up with it. And Gunther had a hard time keeping up with Axiom. He was struggling a little bit, but
Mhm.
once he grabs you though, he
Yep.
got you.
He's got you.
He got you. That was a bang. That was a really good match. Like right after Orton and Carmelo Hayes, I mean, you got two back to back banger matches, which is kind of a throwback to the old SmackDown when they
Yep.
would just have just banger matches. They wouldn't have the greatest promos, but they would have just these great matches,
Yeah.
and it was good to see that.
And then we get the main event of the night, right? Was that the main event? Yeah, it was the main event.
Hmm.
Was uh DIY against the Street Profits. And here they come out, and you're just, oh, it's another, there we go. It's going to be another match. The Street Profits are going to take the loss. But, but Road Dogg cooking tonight, they switched the belts less than a month away from WrestleMania, which is crazy to think about.
So last week, Nick Aldis wrote on his big board, "Hey, the tag team division is crazy.
Uh
Here
huh.
we are. This is what's happening. We're gonna do this match. We're gonna do that match." And this just made it a little more crazy. I mean, they got Pretty Deadly next week. Pretty Deadly is the number one contenders. They're gonna go against the Street Profits. There is absolutely no way Pretty Deadly wins this match.
No,
Um,
no. I
but then
think
again, it's crazy,
I
crazy
think this is
times.
going to be a run for the Street Profits. I don't think they're going to lose them unless Triple H decides they're going to drop them at Mania and they're going to give them a month, make them have a couple matches, and then drop them to somebody at Mania. I hope not,
I hope not too.
because they deserve
That's
to win. They've been so close before, and they put in the work. And Dawkins has gotten night and day better, and Ford is just Ford. He's destined to be a single star at some point.
he is a superstar in the making, and a
He
lot of people are saying that Dawkins is holding him back.
I don't think
That's
so
simply
anymore.
not true.
Not
Yeah, no,
anymore.
yeah, it's not true. I
Yeah.
mean, like as far the issue with any great tag team is the breakup, right? Who becomes the Marty Jannetty? That's the question. We all know Dawkins is gonna be the like. There's no way Dawkins becomes a
No.
Montez Ford has the look, he has the skills, he has every tool.
Mhm.
He can talk on the mic. He has every single tool that
Got
it
the
would
wife.
take to be a main. Yes, his wife is the face, you know, and no shot at Andrade, but they brought Andrade back because his wife was Charlotte, and
Yeah, how'd
like
that work out?
it's a yeah
They got
it
divorced.
did they did get divorces, and Andrade's now posting these cryptic tweets and cryptic stuff talking about he's just waiting in the wing and
I hope he don't I hope I
sad
hope he don't
times.
disappear.
I don't foresee him staying in the WWE
No, no,
that
no,
much longer.
I
Like
was making a he's gonna disappear hurt
yeah
joke.
yeah he's definitely definitely but back to my like I think he's a superstar. The Street Profits deserve to have because they've had a Mania moment before. They've either won or retained the tag team titles at Mania, but right now they're the best tag team on SmackDown.
I
Like we
agree.
can say, Motor City Machine Guns, they're a great tag team.
Yeah,
They're not cooking as much as people thought they would when they first came to WWE.
no.
They're about 10 years too late. Like 10 years ago, they probably would have been the greatest tag team ever, but they're a little bit older now. And I don't think they were brought there to carry the tag team division. You got so many good teams. Not for nothing. Pretty Deadly is a damn good team too. If we stop just making them into a comedy act.
Well, that feels more like a Vince thing. What's happening with them? That definitely feels more like a See,
Yeah, because
Matt's right. Matt jumped in the chat. Machine guns are old and rusted. Montez needs a solo run. He does. And I wonder if after they drop the belt, if they don't drop the belt soon and they go on a decent run, maybe you split them off and you let Montez and Dawkins go their separate ways.
yeah, and we don't need it doesn't need to be a nasty breakup. I
No.
mean, or it could be a great breakup. Because I mean, Dawkins can really go. Like, not for nothing. Dawkins can go. He needs to change his look up. I'm so tired of them shorts, them basketball shorts. Like, bro, you got to do something with them basketball shorts, man.
Put some
They're
jorts on.
killing me.
Be a man. Put some jorts on.
Yes,
That's what I want to see.
the singlet and the basketball shorts. Come on, bro. Like, you
No,
gotta
no.
you gotta
You
switch
lost
that up, man.
you lost weight. Show it off now. Do it up.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
SmackDown was I don't know, SmackDown was okay. Um, it wasn't as bad as the week before, but it's still 3 hours is way, way, way too much time.
yeah,
You know, I know you brought Cody out because you want to get Cody in front of the European crowds, and that's fine. That was just 10, 15 minutes. It's 5-minute entrance, beat up the Miz,
yeah.
say what you're gonna say, 5-minute outro, probably commercial. I don't even remember. It's probably commercial, and he probably did his whole thing with the crowd, and that's good because he's the Hulk Hogan of this era, basically.
Correct,
Just don't
correct.
be the Hulk Hogan of the next era.
Yeah, yeah. Which is inevitable. You will either die being a hero or live long enough to see
Yeah,
yourself become
yeah,
the villain. And Matthew's always also right. I do think he has the charisma similar to a young Rock. Like,
yep.
I do. He kind of has all the tools.
Yeah, he
Um,
does.
if
Eh,
the tag team scene was a little bit better, I would love for them to just stay together. But it's just there's something not working there on both Raw and SmackDown. They have great tag teams, but they're just not meshing. We don't have those epic tag team. We don't have the Usos and the New Day anymore. That was a epic tag team feud.
it
Like,
was.
that was a generational tag team feud, and we don't have that. Like, the
Yep.
Street Profits need a team, and it's not DIY. DIY is not DIY anymore.
No, no. That
NXT DIY was on another level,
right.
but
It
SmackDown DIY, no,
it's not working.
no.
So you said you had a question before we go into the list thing. You wanted to spin off in a couple other things.
So on this past weekend, TNA Sacrifice was here in El Paso. I'm in El Paso, Texas.
Mhm.
Um, and TNA Sacrifice was here, and my wife takes my daughter to ice skating at the ice rink where the El Paso Rhinos play. It's a minor league hockey team out here. And she was like, "Oh, there's wrestling here. Are you gonna go?" And I said no. And she was like, "What? You go to all the wrestling? I've gone to AEW's come here,
Yeah.
WWE comes here every year. I go to every wrestling event." TNA Sacrifice was here, and I didn't go, and it was mainly because Jeff Hardy was in the ladder match, and I think I talked to you about
You
this.
did. You mentioned
Um,
this.
but also last week, Tessa Blanchard, and if you're unfamiliar with Tessa Blanchard is the the daughter of Tully Blanchard. She
Yep.
was TNA's first woman male heavyweight champion. She won the men's heavyweight champion
Okay.
from Sammy Callahan at like Bound for Glory about 5 years ago.
Mhm.
And infamously after that, she tweeted that women need to support each other or we need to support each other, don't knock each other down. And then that tweet in turn had a whole bunch of other female wrestlers come out and say, well, you're not the person who should be saying this because you were racist to me, you were this to me, you were a
Oh,
terrible person. And
damn.
about 10 to 15 female wrestlers came out, was like, yes, you're a horrible person.
Oh,
And she
damn.
didn't show up for some bookings and she got let go and they stripped her of the championship.
Right.
And so they just signed her a few months back, right?
Brought her back.
They brought her back. It was controversial until last week. She debuted a new gimmick. She comes out. She looks like Raquel Rodriguez. She comes out with a Mexican rapping female who's like, and she was speaking Spanish because she spent some time. She wrestled in Mexico. That's where she got her kind of cut her teeth in
Yeah.
Mexico. And she done some indie shows here in El Paso actually over the like after she got fired. She was in like the high school gyms, like the joke of the indie wrestler being in a high school gym with like 50 people.
Right.
She did that. Like she had that nobody wanted to sign her. She got signed to Glow and quit them. Like it was a deal, right? She's had a weird path back to TNA, but she came up with this Mexican woman gimmick and like every chance that she gets in a ring, the crowd chants Tessa, you're a racist. Like literally, that's what they chant to her every single match. In the
Damn.
middle of her matches, they're just chanting you're a racist, and they go with this Hispanic gimmick. And it might have been because of because she was in El Paso. And like I said, she does have some El Paso ties because some of the indie wrestling she did here, but it's like it's so tone deaf, man. Like if you go on X and just search Tessa Blanchard and it's just people going in on her. It's like
Oh,
it's terrible. And TNA, I mean, they have something with Joe Hendry
right.
and they had something with Jordan Grace and now they're kind of banking on Tessa Blanchard to be their big female star because she was at one time it was kind of like Tessa Blanchard and Charlotte. It was kind of a collision course where everybody wanted that to happen. That was probably about 7 or 8 years ago,
Mhm.
and she's kind of ruined it. And TNA is not helping with this Mexican gimmick that they have her doing, and it's just really weird. Like I don't understand it at all. I should have downloaded a picture and I should have posted a picture, but I don't want to do that.
Um,
But yeah,
when you mentioned Joe Hendry, he just announced that he's gonna be at, Wrestle World or WrestleFest or whatever the hell it is at WrestleMania weekend out in Vegas. Would be nice
yes,
to see him sneak into the actual, like, WrestleMania. Everybody assumed that he was gonna get on the card at some point. I don't think he's going to it this year. It's a little late in
no.
the game. Um, it's a shame. I would have loved to have seen him make an appearance on the card.
The the pop he would get, like
Crazy.
if he just does a backstage gimmick or something, like the pop he would get would just be amazing because
Let him
people love him.
let him
People
run in
really
on
do love him.
someone. Let him run in on someone.
Who
I
who
don't know.
who? There's only one run-in that I care about on WrestleMania.
We'll have to see when we get the actual card, we can see. Maybe.
Yeah,
I doubt there'll be a spot for him.
yeah, no, it'd be nice because I mean he got a great pop at the Royal Rumble.
He did.
Like he got a great pop at the Royal Rumble. I think he'll get a great pop everywhere. He is an over wrestler. He is one of the definitions of being over. And before we get into a really over wrestler, have you seen the promos for the roast that they're doing? WrestleMania weekend?
I saw the one, and it's look. I think it's a good idea. I love roasts. I'll spend hours at work watching roasts. I mean, hours watching roasts. But Tony Hinchcliffe is going to be there. He's great. I don't know. That's. I guess it shouldn't be too bad. I mean, the wrestlers talk crap back and forth about each other, but these roasts sometimes, like you watch the Tom Brady roast, my man was very uncomfortable a lot of the time on that stage, especially when Nikki Glaser was out there.
She makes me uncomfortable in probably the best way.
Yeah.
The best way possible.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm a big fan of comedy in general and comedy roasts. This could be really, really good depending on how they do it. I really feel bad for Hulk Hogan because he's going to be the butt of many.
Oh my God. He can't be there. Like, because if he might actually choke somebody.
Yep.
Like, that might be the moment that Hulk Hogan snaps and we get a real life NWO moment where like he really does drop the leg drop. He does the leg drop.
It's possible
on Tony Hinchcliffe. Yes, because it does get personal, and we all know these wrestlers are very sensitive people. If you haven't, if people go off script, and we see this a lot in AEW, and that's why AEW is such a mess. Because if these wrestlers go off script and say something that wasn't planned or that you didn't know was coming, they say the wrong thing about CM Punk and Roxanne Perez, which was a thing that Becky Lynch mentioned a few weeks ago. And that can be a thing and CM Punk might walk out and never come back. Who knows? Like these guys are very ego driven.
Yep.
And it could be really good. It could be really funny. And a lot of the roast would be about Triple H, and Triple H don't care because he just cares about money. He's like, it's gonna increase our views. But you say something about the wrong wrestler, once again, like Terry Bollea. If he's there and you say the wrong thing about him, he might take it really personal. He might hit you in the face.
He might.
And that's gonna get a lot of views.
Sure it will.
But they're never gonna do it again.
No. Do you want me to run into this little list? I trimmed it.
We let's do it before we get into a promo that's probably going to be on the list.
I trimmed it. So I tried to look for the top 10 heel wrestling promos, the top wrestling promos. So I went to Ranker and they did the 35 best promos of wrestling all time. So this isn't just WWE. I trimmed the fat and got down to 25. We don't have to spend a ton of time on each one of these so we can snip through them real fast.
Okay.
They have at 25, Paul Heyman's 21-1 promo night after WrestleMania when Brock Lesnar beat the streak. That was when he coined the phrase the 1 in 21-1.
Great promo.
Great promo. At 24, they have Joey Styles quitting promo. That was awesome. That was great. Because nobody liked Joey Styles. I like Joey Styles.
I love Joey Styles. I loved ECW back in the Joey Styles was ECW. Oh man, I love Joey Styles.
But the hardcore WWE crowd did not take the Joey Styles because of who he replaced. Anybody that replaces Jim Ross at first is going to have a hard time. Back then.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. Then they have number 23. They have John Cena and Roman Reigns shoot promo in 2017. That's good.
Is that the Sucker and Succotash promo? Was
That
that?
might be the Sucker and Succotash promo. The memorable quote they give here is
Yeah.
from Cena is they go back and forth with you because when they look at you, they see what I see. A cheap ass corporately created John Cena bootleg.
Mm,
And this is this was a couple years before Reigns hit his stride.
yeah.
So, you know, um,
Yeah.
okay, 23 is all right. 22, they have Edge's retirement speech when he broke his neck and he was never coming back. Okay,
That
that's
was
fine.
tough. That was tough to watch. Yes.
Number 21, CM Punk's contract signing. This is 2011 for Money in the Bank, for his Money in the Bank contract. Um,
Hmm. I
eh,
don't remember that one.
I don't remember it either. It doesn't resonate. Number 20 was Shawn Michaels' Montreal promo. That was great. That was
Yes.
after the screw
Yeah.
job. That's a great promo. 20's, I guess 20's good for that. 19 is AJ Lee's Total Divas promo.
Oh, when she ran down everybody on
In
the
2013 when she told them that they won't even be able to lace up her Chuck Taylors. That's a great moment. That was a good moment.
yeah.
Number 18, they have Jay Lethal and Ric Flair's TNA promo. I do remember this.
That's the great.
I do
The
remember
woo
that.
off. Yes.
It was definitely interesting.
So I would tell you, I'll probably watch that video more than a human should watch that video because it's so funny. It's so great.
It is because he does a really good Ric Flair impression.
Yes, he does it. He does a perfect Ric Flair and Macho Man impression.
Yeah.
Black machismo, but
Yep.
he does a really good Ric Flair. Like when they're talking to each other, it's like, man, they sound exactly alike. It's so good.
At number 17, they have Jake the Snake Roberts' Muck of Avarice promo. This is old, old, old. I love Jake the Snake Roberts promos when he was back in the WWF days because he
Yeah.
was creepy and calculated, and his tone was he was just quiet speaking, and it was just it was different from the yelling and the hollering and the Hulk Hogan yelling and the Savage yelling and the Ultimate Warrior
Correct.
screaming and having heart attacks while he's giving promos.
Yes.
Beautiful. Love me some Jake
Yes.
the Snake. Number
Great
16,
ring psychologist.
he absolutely was. Number 16, they have Bret Hart snapping on Vince McMahon in 1997.
Was that was that his first WCW promo?
No. He was still in the WWE. He was in Raw. It was still when it was Raw as War, and in the background they have the big blue big cage up. So I I don't know.
Remember that one.
I vaguely remember it. Number 15, they have Scott Hall's Monday Night War promo.
Solid promo. It was more of a moment
It was
than
a
it was a
moment.
great promo.
Yep.
Like
It was
it
a moment.
wasn't a great promo, but it was just a moment, right?
Yep. It was a great moment.
Mhm.
Number 14, and this is probably one of my most replayed and watched promos of all time, was The Rock against Billy Gunn.
Hi, my name is Billy.
It is still to this day one of my favorite things to watch. That was peak Rock doing peak things on the microphone, and just that if for anybody that rewatches this later on and it's not here live, that's just you, Matt. Watch The Rock goes after Billy Gunn promo. It's legendary. It was 1999. It wasn't even on a mainstream show. It was on Sunday Night Heat.
Yes.
How about that?
Yes.
Um,
They used to put like those extra, like The Rock and Mankind always found their way on Sunday Night Heat for some strange reason. Like,
Yeah.
bless
Number
them.
13, we got Hulk Hogan's heel turn promo, which was a little bit of a promo, but again, a moment, but a huge moment that changed the face of wrestling in both companies.
Correct. It was Hulk Hogan saying Hulk Hogan-y things.
Yep.
but just adding, it's a new world order, brother. Like,
Yep. Number 12, The Miz talking smack on Daniel Bryant, which was some real life stuff. That was a
epic.
crazy. I didn't see that live. That was a YouTube find. That's some
Yeah.
crazy stuff.
I never watched Talking Smack. I
No.
won't sit here and act as if I did, but like immediately after that came out, it was all over the internet. And boy, the Miz, once again, the Miz deserves a lot more. He's
Yeah.
great when they give him a chance to be great. And that was just a great moment. That should have led to so much more for the Miz. Unfortunately, it didn't, but
No, it
that
didn't.
was a great moment. Or
Number
great
11,
promo.
it was. Number 11, they had Mark Henry's retirement speech.
That's too low.
I'll admit that was swerved me. They got me
Oh,
on that one.
it got everybody. That got everybody. If anybody who says that they saw, I mean, like once Cena showed up, I was like, are they like this is weird?
Yep.
But at the same time, you just didn't see that coming.
No. And
That
it should be higher. It should be higher
it should
than
be
11.
high.
So in the top 10, we got Chris Jericho's WWE debut promo.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah.
That should be higher actually.
Yeah, but was that a promo or was that more of a moment too? I mean, he did cut a promo on The Rock.
Yes.
And that's a great person to go up against.
Yeah.
Jericho was great from then on.
I love Jericho, the man of 1,001 holes. Come on. Like you gotta love Jericho.
Now, number 9, I think this one's too low. I think this should be in the top 5. Paul Heyman's Smackdown promo on Vince McMahon.
Which one is this?
So this is when he was wearing the ECW hat and the jacket, and this is the one that Vince told him in 2001, I don't want to know what you're going to say. Go out and rip me. And Paul Heyman, that lyrical master that he is, went out and ripped him.
Paul Heyman could probably have 25 promos that are in the top 25. Like he's
the
great.
Memorable quote from this on here is, you ran all the competition in the ground and you stole all their ideas and you made yourself a billionaire out of it. And you know whose ideas you stole the most, Vince? You stole mine. True.
I would say find the lie.
Yep.
Because the whole Attitude Era was a ripoff of ECW. Like the entire thing. From stealing Stone Cold Steve Austin from ECW.
Yep.
Like he created that character in ECW. Like
yep.
Man.
Now, number 8, you had referenced this already. Chris Jericho's 1004 holds promo.
Or Ralphus. I loved WCW Chris Jericho. Yeah. Like with the crazy hair and the one that he goes to commercial and comes back and he's armhole. What a great promo. Such a good one.
Number 7, I don't agree with this being that high. Ric Flair's Royal Rumble victory speech. It's a moment. It's a great moment, but it shouldn't be above Mark Henry, and it shouldn't be above the Paul Heyman one. Not this one. Ric Flair's had way better promos back in the day that should be up there.
That was a moment, yeah.
Number 6, back to Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's One Night Stand 2005 promo. That was a great one. And the biggest memorable line of that was, the only reason you were WWE champion for a year is because Triple H didn't want to work Tuesdays. Excellent line to JBL. Excellent line. Now in the top 5, Randy Savage's Cream of the Crop promo.
Randy, great promo guy. If you can understand what he was saying.
Yep.
If he could understand what he was saying, he would give some good ones.
But he pulled out little coffee creamers in his promo, and he said he was the cream of the crop. I love that promo. Love the Macho Man. Number 4, Eddie Guerrero's Addiction promo. That was deep.
I watched that real time.
Me too.
El Paso guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eddie Guerrero, man. that was blurring the lines, and of course, I know what's coming. It has to be in there somewhere, but that was
Mm,
blurring the lines before a certain Punk blurred the
so
lines.
the top 3 promos, I could think you could put 3 and 2 in any order. Number 3, Hard Times promo, Dusty Rhodes.
Great promo. I wanna say I just watched that for the first time tonight because I was
I
looking up great promos. I've heard
unfortunately
it.
I was there and I was watching wrestling in '85. I was a freshman in high school. I was watching wrestling in '85. Yes, I loved NWA, WC. I loved all that. Nikita Koloff back then, Magnum TA, all those guys over there. Number 2 is the pipe bomb. Now 2 and
As
1,
it
what
should
they
be.
have is 2 and 1. 1 is a little bit more of a moment than 2 is a promo. 2 is in all the lists I've looked, this is number 1 in almost all of them. Yeah, I'm old, Matt. We're from the same neighborhood, dude. Number 1 is the Austin 316 Royal Rumble.
I don't think that should be number 1.
Not over Punk. Because what Punk did
Not over
was
the pipe bomb.
Punk opened up a door that I think he opened up a door and allowed more wrestlers to speak more from the heart for things going forward when he did that. Um, because it was all real. I mean, again, where would you put John Cena's Monday Night promo, which we'll talk about in a minute?
I'll
Would you
put it
put it in the
right.
top 10?
Yes, of course. Yes, that was an all-time. That was an all-time. I think that is going to be the promo that they teach heels in promo school.
Okay.
Like, that is gonna be a promo that 30 years from now, that kid, actually like 10 years from now, that kid that he pointed at in the crowd is going
Oh,
to be a wrestler, and he is going to he's gonna he's gonna beat up Cody Rhodes because he didn't stop
no.
John Cena from saying those things to him.
Yep.
Like
Now
he's
before we go on, the Chat GPT top 10 heel promos, I'm gonna just highlight a few really fast. Number 9, MJF's Devil Revelation in 2022.
ah, no,
I like
not
his
the Devil
promo.
Revelation.
No,
Like,
the other one where he like lit into everybody is better than that, right? Yeah.
yes,
Okay. Um, Number 7, Roddy Piper's "You Don't Throw Rocks at a Man with a Machine Gun."
I don't
He cut
remember
that
that one.
promo on Hulk Hogan. It was awesome. Um, what was number 6 was Triple H's "I Am the Game" promo in 1999. Um, Number 4 was Ric Flair's limousine riding promos from the 80s. Basically, that is the Ric Flair that I would put up there because that
Correct.
Ric Flair was that was my Ric Flair.
Yes,
Number 3 is 1991 Jake Roberts dark promo, and
good. That was a good one.
number 1 is CM Punk's pipe bomb. I don't look at that as a heel promo as much as just a was he a
I mean,
heel?
to Vince, it's a heel. To Vince, is a heel
Vince
pro.
is a heel. Yeah, yeah. You know, there's a lot of other moments that are missed, you know, but
Where's Steiner math in any of these promo
there was
lists?
no Steiner math. There's no Cody Rhodes AEW promo like Matt mentioned, and that's a ranker site, so that's by the fans. So obviously not some good
Man,
fans there.
the
I even
Steiner
looked
math
back
promo is
at the
great.
10 I skipped, didn't have any of that. The Steiner math promo is one of the greatest promos ever in the history of ever. Right? I even would put Booker T's little promo where he's coming for
Yeah,
Hulk Hogan up there, okay?
yes,
Because you know when
yes.
Booker T spoke that word, he kinda put his head down like, "God damn, what did I just do? Ah,
It's
shit.
sensational. Sherry is right next to him, like,
Yep,
you got it, babe. No, you're okay.
you're okay." Meanwhile, me, G just powered through like, "Nope, I didn't hear it. We're good."
Great times, man.
Ah,
Oh man. I mean, I'm trying to see if I had anything that was on my list that wasn't on that list. No, no, they got everything. They covered everything.
who the hell is Joel
Joel
Gertner?
Gert. It's an ECW. Wasn't that the guy who wore the neck brace in ECW?
Oh,
I think that was the guy who wore the neck brace in
not
ECW.
and not a single Santino, nothing? No Kurt Angle? Like, there's a lot. I mean, The Undertaker did some okay promos, but that was when he was the dead man. That wasn't, there was nothing big about
Yeah,
that. There's a lot of promos that are missed in that list. Um,
yeah. Eh,
yeah,
we'll get it the next year's list because I think Cena's I think top three. I think it's right. It might be right below the pipe bomb. Honestly, I would put that against. I'll put that against Hard Times. I mean, that was what we're
yeah,
about to talk about it.
we are about to talk about it. No, the Dudley Riot. I think the Dudley Riot was in the 10 that I cut, Matt. I did see something. That's right, because Bubba Ray almost caused the riot with his promo. That was in the 10 that I cut out. Due to time. So then we go to Raw Monday night, live from Belgium. Another hot crowd, another crowd in Europe just doing work. And before Raw started, I figured we're gonna get John Cena at the end of the match. They're gonna pull like what Vince used to do. John Cena's gonna
Mhm.
come out with 10 minutes left. He's gonna talk, and that's it. He's gonna leave. We open up with John Cena. Okay, I'm shocked. We don't get any new John Cena music. We get the same John Cena theme song with a little bit of a darker shirt, a nice maroon. I like that shirt. I think I'm getting that shirt.
Great shirt.
And he got his little towel, but he doesn't run to the ring like he used to, like he doesn't. Him and Stu don't run. Now he's walking. And he gets in the ring, and it's just a cascade of boos. And him teasing, walking out. I swear,
Yes.
we said it. He's going to drop the mic and walk out, isn't he? And that was a great moment. That's a veteran move. And
They were so loud. He wouldn't have got a word out. They were
no,
so loud.
they were booing him like Dom.
Yes.
Now, I want to hear your take on what he said.
So I went back and watched this and I wrote a lot of notes. But
Yes.
I wrote so many notes because there's so many great one-liners that he said in there, but I'm only gonna highlight a few.
Highlight
Let's
that one.
see. I'm
Petty
not a
Ch-
baby face. I'm not a heel. I'm a human being. That was one that really resonated with me because he went into the feelings thing, and it really sounded like his voice was cracking.
Yeah.
Like it really sounded like he was very passionate. I felt like this blurred a lot of reality because I know this is probably a lot of things that he felt. He said, I give, and all you do is take. That's
Yep.
all you do. What about me? What are you gonna do for me? That's what he said. What are you gonna do for me? What are you gonna do for me? And he said, You sat on your asses, and all I did was be great, which is the greatest line. You did nothing but sit on your ass and watch me be great. Like that is the ultimate dick line.
Yep.
Like that's like you, you that's
I'm
almost
using that.
like Rick Rude calling people sweat hogs and
I'm
stuff.
using that at work tomorrow. I'm gonna tell my boss that.
I would highly suggest against doing that.
I don't know. I got
Don't
a
do
good
that.
relationship with my boss. It's fine. He doesn't watch wrestling, so it'll be confusing to him. It'll be fun.
It'll be so confusing.
It'll be fun.
And then he starts pointing at people who wear the Cena shirt, and he's like, "You didn't support me." And then he points at the kid.
That poor kid. That poor kid just became a meme in that moment.
Oh my gosh. This kid had a confused look on his face. He's like, is he pointing at me? Is he really pointing at me? That's his hero.
Yep.
Like John Cena is so many kids' hero.
Yep.
Imagine going to your first WWE event and your hero points at you and say, you don't deserve. Like you don't deserve the love that everything that I've given you, you don't deserve any of it. You get nothing, like Kenny said.
How do you think his
Holy
dad
smokes,
feels?
man.
I just spent this money on this shirt. This man's gonna single my son out.
You
Damn.
guys, you guys, You guys don't live this. You just you buy the hustle, loyalty, and respect. I lived it. There's so many jewels. He dropped so many jewels in this promo. It's too many. It's too many to go off now. But he dropped so many jewels. It was a perfect, so much better than I thought it was going to be. I thought John Cena was going to come out there and just like, The Rock offered me all this money and all this fame in Hollywood.
Well,
No.
that's a group of my friends that I text with said the same thing. The one guy was really like upset at the fact that he didn't go corporate right there. And I said, but we still got a month to WrestleMania. He can still, like, this was him getting it all out. This was him getting his feelings out. Referencing the "you can't see me" meme and hating it was, again, great. What I can't wait for, I can't wait in a year or so when we get the behind the scenes look at all this. Like when we get him to actually, when he's out and he's done and he's back to being John Cena, the good guy everybody loves or hates.
Yeah.
I want to hear his thought process on how he did this and how he mentally did this.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the stuff that's interesting. Because again, like you said, this was great, top to bottom. It was, and it went 20, what'd you say it went? 20 some minutes?
26 minutes.
And it was only supposed to go 11? And then Cody coming down. And I think it was, the rebuttal was perfect from Cody.
Correct. So Matthew said he's a big AEW guy.
Yes,
and one thing I thought that I always thought that AEW did wrong was at the beginning of their feuds, they would always have this promo standoff, especially like MJF was infamous for this. Him and CM Punk, their first promo, and the world was waiting for that because those are two of the top 5 people on the mic on the planet, MJF, Punk. They got everything out in that first promo. There really wasn't too many places you can go after that first promo. After this promo, there's so many places you can go because it was their interaction was so limited. John Cena didn't even rebut anything that Cody Rhodes said. He just stood there. He dropped the mic. Cody Rhodes walked off. He said, I don't want to fight. I want to fight John Cena. I don't want to fight this little bitch.
Yep.
Like, I don't want to fight the whiny guy. I want to fight the hustle, loyalty, respect guy. I want to fight that guy. I want to fight the guy.
Yep.
I can't see this person in front of me because he's not John Cena.
Now, go ahead.
I'll say it was perfect in its simplicity. And there's so many places you can go because we still got a month or a little bit less than a month till we get to WrestleMania. So we got time. And hopefully we get more time.
He's going to be on more shows leading up to WrestleMania. Now, a question I have, do you think he sticks with the retiring at the end of the year? Do you think he sticks to that? Or is he going to swerve everyone as a heel now and carry this? Do you think how this goes the next couple of months will determine if he actually stays or goes? Or do you think he's done?
That is a great question because you just don't know. Like that's a hard question. It depends on his schedule.
Yep.
Any wrestler being done. I mean, Ric Flair retired probably 20 times. So Shawn Michaels retired. He came back. I mean, everybody comes back for that Saudi money. Just throwing that out there. That Saudi money is like a different level of money when it comes to one match.
John Cena has Hollywood money now. He's really, really, really tight with James Gunn. So there's a place for him in those DC movies. I agree with Kenny. I think he's done. I think he retires. I think that's it. He's going to walk away. Physically, he can't take it anymore. Like, again, I'm complaining about being 53 years old and playing 2 deck hockey games. My man's 50 years old almost and getting his ass handed to him and thrown around a ring all the time. So I think he's done. I think
never
the scenario plays out that he's a heel through the summer, and then it starts to turn. And they do Saturday Night Main Event in Boston, John Cena versus Randy Orton. Cena takes the pin. Randy holds his hand up, and we get good guy John Cena back. Like, that's the redemption. The redemption arc happens there. And maybe we
Man.
get heel Orton then. Like, lead me into a heel Orton run with Cody, because that's what I'm in.
I want to see that. I'm ready. I've been waiting for that. I actually thought that was this WrestleMania. I thought we were going to get a heel Orton for this WrestleMania. I thought the him and KO would be in cahoots.
I'm sorry. Matt said he's going to remake the Ernest movies. Ernest goes to WrestleMania.
He does. He looks smaller now. And because he's smaller, he does look a lot like Ernest in his old age. With the hat on, too. When
he does.
With the hat. Yes.
So we get through the promo, and then the show starts.
Did it though? Did it really start? My show ended after that promo. Like I just
we got some matches.
Things happened though.
We got some matches. We got Ludwig Kaiser versus Penta in a no holds barred match. A little odd to have a no holds barred match right away, but they didn't really do no holds barred.
Those guys have fought,
but they didn't actually use the no holds barred point of the match, really.
Correct.
At all. They had a good match. They just didn't. Whatever.
Go extreme. Like no holds barred is such a weird. That's such an old cliche term. It didn't get, because generally those matches get extreme. Those matches are personal matches where you end up gouging people's eyes and stuff like that. Like it would just, yeah. Yes, Kenny, it was the end of the feud, and thank goodness, because I don't want to see them fight each other again.
I don't. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
There's nothing. They're wasting Kaiser right now too, and Penta's getting a lot of good face time, but Ray's probably going to end up in WrestleMania after WrestleMania, and then team him up with his brother, or have him against his brother, right? Like one of those two scenarios is going to happen. Maybe the Street Profits hold the belts until him and his brother are ready to start fighting together.
So they did tease Ray Phoenix in SmackDown. I think they teased Aleister Black as well. Like that 4, it looked like an A.
From what I understand, from what I have read, that both will debut after WrestleMania because they're so close to WrestleMania, and the card's pretty much set, more than likely. So it wasn't a bad match. Penta defeated Kaiser. He hit a destroyer on this, a diving destroyer on a steel chair. Okay. Yeah. Then we get Dakota Kai versus Ivy Nile. And lots of weird stuff happened outside.
That guy showed up again. The guy
showed up again.
The lucha guy showed up again.
Yep.
Who is clearly not Chad Gable. For sure, he's not Chad. No. Doesn't even look like him.
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit.
But Dakota got the win. Yeah. Okay.
A match happened. Yeah.
Yeah, a match happened. And then another match happened.
Yes.
And then my man Jey Uso, Austin Theory.
The internet will not let the internet. So it's so funny because the internet is saying one thing and the crowd goes bonkers for Jey Uso when his music hits.
Yep.
Like when he hits anything, the crowd goes insane. But the internet is like, why is this guy going to be my champion? I'm going to go with the crowd because I also really like Jey Uso.
Absolutely am going to go with the crowd. That match, the Jey Uso Austin Theory match, currently, as of yesterday, has 65,000 dislikes on YouTube.
Yes.
65,000 dislikes. That's the internet saying we don't want you. But like you said, every time he comes, I am a huge Jey Uso fan. I want him to win because Gunther has been utterly boring as a champion. And I think
Other than this fight with Axiom, like I haven't seen. I mean, he's had good championship matches, but they're like so few and few between. And everybody kept saying that the world heavyweight champion was going to be the workers championship,
he hasn't
and
been.
he's not working. Yeah, like
I think Jay Wood will wrestle like Seth Rollins did. Jay will do exactly what Seth Rollins did for that belt and bring it back up. That's what I think. Jay Uso won. Gunther showed up, tried to choke him out, but Jay fought out of it and grabbed the belt off his.
He won with a crossbody, by the way. Michael Cole called it a crossbody. It clearly was a spear. It was a spear. It was an ugly spear, but it was a spear. It wasn't a crossbody. And the internet ran with that.
I also think that Austin Theory and Waller should split. It's time for them. Like, there's nothing more that they serve together. It's time. You've punished Austin Theory enough. Let them split up. Let them go off on their own. Before that match, we had Bianca and Io sign a contract for their match. When Rhea came in, picked up the contract, and signed her name on it. Just
That's what I'm going to do in my job tomorrow. I'm just going to walk in with an offer letter that I draft up. I'm going to draft an offer letter to make more money, and I'm going to sign it, and I'm going to hand it to my supervisor and say, "Hey, take this to my project manager, and this is now a ironclad contract because I just signed it. Give me more money." Rhea just gave me the blueprint. Yeah,
that's it. That's exactly what should happen. And again, Matt, you're right. The promo where Cena ripped Austin Theory to pieces, the promo where Cena ripped Reigns, any of John Cena's promos should have been on that list because all of his promos before he stopped wrestling full time were great.
I thought the CM Punk Boxing with God promo was one of the
His promo with The Rock where he talked about The Rock writing the lines on his wrist. How is that not in the list? That list sucked. Then we get the Creeds versus LWO part 94. And the LWO won.
What are y'all doing with the Creeds? And they are the best tag team on Raw. Clearly. Like the War Raiders, they're a great tag team.
Where are they at?
The Creeds, I don't know. The
Creeds not allowed to travel to Europe?
Maybe not. I don't know. They haven't been. They haven't showed up for about 3 weeks now.
Oh, no.
Like,
I don't know. There was another spot where Ray almost shorted his jump and died, but Julius caught him.
Yes.
That's
correct.
Like the third or fourth time now that Ray has shorted a spot. Hang him up, Ray. Love you, but hang him up.
After a certain time, you
go ahead.
I'll say after a certain time, you can't do it is anatomy, it's biology, it's whatever you want to call it. Your body simply can't do what it once did. And Ray is like my age. He's probably a little bit older than me, I think, actually. And bro, great Hall of Fame career, the greatest luchador to at least on American soil, the greatest luchador to ever do it.
He's 50.
It's okay. Okay, he's older than me, man. To be able to do what he does at 50 is insane. Like,
absolutely,
it's insane. So shorten it. I'll give you grace because you're 50, but it might be time to slow it down, man. Like
it might be,
and he can't, but he can't though because he's like he can't. That's his whole. That's his.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised they're not still shooting him up out the ground. like you just
probably afraid of him anymore. You know, the War Raiders are from Boston. Maybe they were just celebrating St. Patty's Day, and that's why they didn't come over. Who knows?
Touche.
I would like to know where the hell they are, though. Like Kenny.
Not defending the champions. Not defending those belts.
No. Then we get Breaker versus Balor for the Intercontinental Championship.
Oh man, you missed the Seth Rollins promo where Seth Rollins just came out there and said things and just left. Like what?
Oh, that's not on
he,
here.
he
Is that
just
on
he just
here?
came out there and just said something like, "I'm gonna be at SmackDown on Friday,"
Oh,
and it was
yeah.
like,
And then he
"What
said,
are
"Now
you
for the
doing?"
main event." Right.
Yeah, I was like, What are you doing?"
They only sent him out there for the crowd to sing his song. That's gotta be the only reason.
Yes,
Nobody has
like
ever come out and just done that and said, "By the way, here's the main event."
what is what are we doing? Like when that happened, I was like, what is going on? I assumed that somebody was gonna come out. I assumed that he was gonna
Yeah.
get attacked or something, but nothing happened. I was like, what are y'all doing? One, Cena's promo went so long. It's like you cut Jey Uso's match, but then you have Seth Rollins come out there just like, what are y'all doing?
No. So,
I think Kenny said that could have been an email. You're right.
it could have been
That
an
could have been
email.
that could have been an email.
That could have been an email. You could have read Michael Cole could have read that on the screen and said, "By the way, Seth Rollins just texted me this."
Yes.
Oh, and we didn't I'll mention this at the end. So, we get Braun Breaker versus Finn Balor. Finn came out without anybody, came out by himself. They fight. Carlito and Dom show up. Breaker looked great. Balor's, he's a veteran. He's going to make the guy look great too.
Yeah.
Dom cost Balor the match. Right? Tried to help him out. Missed. Got Finn's Balor's stuck on the top turnbuckle.
I wonder if they're gonna do a triple threat for Mania, or Dom is just flat out gonna beat Braun Breaker at Mania. That's my prediction now.
If they do a triple threat at Mania, it's easier to put the belt on Dom that way, with him capitalizing on a mistake while the other two beat each other up. That way, the other two aren't hurting, and Dom's up here now. I don't know. Is it too early for Dom? Maybe not.
No.
But they're making a big deal about Paul Heyman working with Breaker behind the scenes on stuff too.
But the reason why I say that is because who's going to be a world heavyweight champion after WrestleMania? He's going to need a dance partner. And who the better dance partner than a young, angry Braun Breaker? And that match will be great.
But they also teased Penta came out and saved Braun. So they teased Penta versus Braun. And then the Judgment Day shenanigans, they absolutely need to break up. Something they're definitely teasing something. Like they've been kind of like laying a little groundwork, but they're definitely teasing something.
Yeah, I all signs just point to Dom winning the IC title, and then Finn Balor just like obliterate him. Like either Carlito and Dom jump Finn Balor, or Finn Balor just like loses it and just obliterates Dom after he wins. Like one of those two things. But I think Braun Breaker's just meant for bigger things. Like he's held the Intercontinental Championship and he's had an okay run, but I think it's time. Like I think he's ready for the main event scene. And
I agree. A couple of things that a couple things that I read I didn't know. Now the way the lights were the way the lights hit, they had Cena in the dark and the light on Cody. That was 100% purposely done, and that's awesome. Oh, yeah. That's production. That's top tier production stuff. Pat McAfee wasn't there. Corey Graves was back, filling in.
Yeah.
It was a good show. The only problem I seem to have with Netflix now is, one, you say you have unlimited time, but you're cutting time from other stuff rather than going long. And two, I think the WWE censors just kind of gave up in the middle of the Cena promo because they were trying to mute the FU Cena chants and they weren't hitting the time on it. And I think the guy back there was just like, whatever, let them say what they want at this point, because they
we're
just
on Netflix. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, we're on Netflix.
Like I said last week, I understand not showing someone give the finger because if you're watching it with your kid, maybe your kid doesn't hear the chants and doesn't understand them, but definitely is gonna know what this means.
Because they'll start doing it around the
Right,
house. That's what happens.
right.
Because my daughter did
And we get funny TikToks.
that. But yeah, I so that was another great part of that promo is he said that the crowd bullied him and they immediately went to fuck you, Cena. I was like,
Immediately. And
that was so funny.
I'm
Man, what a
really
great.
excited to see what's gonna happen with Smackdown this week. Um, I don't think we're gonna get Cena in Italy, but then again, maybe we will. I
So we won't need Cena in Italy because we're gonna get Roman and CM Punk.
That's
Like
true.
Roman and CM Punk is gonna be are gonna be on SmackDown. So I mean, you got box office. Cody will show up and he'll do what Cody does. He'll get a
Yep.
big whoa,
Oh,
when this music hits. But yeah, well, I mean, I think that those guys are probably gonna go 20 minutes. Like Seth,
probably.
CM Punk,
But they have
and
time
Roman.
to do that. They can do
Mhm.
that on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Take away from the wrestling a little bit. That's fine.
A fatal five way. Who
Who's in the Fatal
between
5-Way?
who would be the fatal five way, Kenny? So they should just have are you talking about Cody, Cena and
Roman and
Punk,
Punk?
Roman? Oh,
Drew,
that
Punk, Cena, Seth, and Roman. I mean, look, I don't hate it.
I'd watch that.
I don't hate it at all, but out of all 5 of those men, Roman ain't taking a pin. Well, you know what? He might.
He
I
might.
take that back. He might. Any
He
one
might.
of those 5 can take a pin. Yeah, why not? It's Vegas. Sometimes you gotta roll a hard 6, right?
I mean, hold up. Where's Cody in all of this, man? You got like it should be Cody.
Oh, yeah.
Cody.
I
No, yeah,
Give
Cody. Cody instead of Drew.
me the Raw. Give me
Hey,
the Raw. Give me a Raw, like, give me a fatal 5-way to close out a Raw. Give me a half an hour of a fatal 5-way right before WrestleMania. That way
oh,
John
that'd be
Cena can
great.
tear his ACL and somebody else can fight.
Then Joe Henry's musical hit.
Yes!
Oh my god.
Yes! Okay, a Sinister 6. Add Cody to that. There we go.
Yeah.
Hang the belt,
Yes.
fire it off. Let's go.
Oh
I'm in
man.
it.
Hey, that I would for sure watch that. I wouldn't be mad at that. Everybody says that the main event has to be a one-on-one match. I
No,
totally disagree with that.
no.
Like I'm
The women
all
had a
for whatever.
the women had a triple threat one year, right? Didn't they do a triple threat?
Well, the women are about to do a triple. Yes, they did. They made it that closed out.
That closed
Becky,
out.
Ronda, and Charlotte. Yeah.
Right. That was where Ronda's shoulders weren't down.
That's because she didn't know how to keep her shoulders down. Like it's because never
Mhm.
mind. I'm not gonna go on my Ronda rant.
Mm-mm. We'll
We'll
save
save
that.
we'll save that for we'll save that for another great night. Uh, think shit. Uh, that's good, man. That
That that keeps their story going because Seth keeps giving it to Roman, and I like it. Kenny, I
I
think
don't
the
think
3 of us should write for WWE, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
uh, can be worse than a road dog, man. I think we could do a better job than a road dog.
Let's get a contract, sign it, and send it to Triple H.
Done.
The 3 of us
I,
will sign it, send it to Triple H. Well, Matt, you can sign it too because Matt's has some good
I,
stuff. The 4 of us will sign a contract, send it to Triple H, and just say, "Pay us
well,
raw
you're right. Just now.
payroll. We're gonna write. Give us a Saturday night main event once a month."
Exactly. No, I want to do SmackDown every week.
Okay,
Give me 3 hours.
I'm in.
I'd make the worst. No.
Rhea Ripley. Yeah,
Yeah. Yes. Man, I really wonder who is going to. I don't think Seth is going to pin Roman at Mania. Like I don't see that happening, man. I don't see a world where Roman takes a pin at WrestleMania. I just
I
don't see
can't
that
see that
happening.
either.
I mean, he did it. He did it for Cody. But I
Yeah.
not 2 WrestleManias in a row, man.
What they do with that match? Do they make that like a special? Do we throw some tribal stuff at that match? Do we do we amp things up week to week now for the next 3.5, 4 weeks, and then throw some stuff at it?
The only thing that we can throw at this match that would make the match better than what it is now is if Dean Ambrose comes down with a spiked bat and hits Roman in the back with it.
That
So
would
you
be
don't
Move
watch
Number
AEW.
61.
So you don't. After this, I want you guys to go and watch the highlights for Dynamite because John Moxley and Edge or Cope had a match on Dynamite, and there was a spike bat with they were nails. They weren't. I can't even sell this thing. You just got to go watch it. It's
Okay.
disgusting. If you gross out easily, you probably shouldn't watch it. But it was insane.
I'm gonna I'm gonna
It-
I'm gonna answer this question. No.
no,
I think Heyman screws Roman. That's what I think happened. And Kenny said, Punk hits Roman with a go to sleep. Seth knocks Punk out of the way and hits the stomp 1, 2, 3. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
man, we got a lot of time to do a lot of fantasy booking, but what we will do, because we did talk about this vaguely, Frank, is talk about put booking our WrestleMania because
Yeah.
the matches aren't really set yet.
No.
Uh,
Mm-mm.
we'll either do that next week or week
Okay.
at probably next week. I think next week would probably be the better time to do it. Is
Would be like 3 weeks
we'll
out.
we'll
Yeah.
book because the matches probably are going to start getting announced probably next week.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
uh,
let's get ours out of the way. And then the week before WrestleMania, we could kind of
who's going to
line our
win?
things up and then pick who's going to win and get some of the group, some of the chat involved.
Exactly. And the chat's going to be heavily involved. So, in order for the chat to be heavily involved, you got to like and subscribe this to the Island of Relevancy podcast YouTube channel. I'm so bad at doing this. I have to do this more. I don't understand why. Like my kids, when they take pictures and when they do, like they have their own tablets and stuff, and my daughter will play Roblox and she's like recording herself playing Roblox because she wants to be a YouTube person. She says like and subscribe to this video at the end of her recordings,
Yeah.
which is hilarious to me. But I can't seem to do this during 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 our podcast. But for sure, to the people who are in here now, you are liked and subscribed, and we appreciate you, Kenny
Love-
and Matthew. We appreciate you guys stopping in because that's the best part of this is actually having a conversation
Yes.
about the thing that we all love. We all love wrestling. Um, your wife is the worst at taking pictures. My kids, man, they just got it. They're gonna. My daughter is waiting until she's 15. I told her she can't have a YouTube channel until she's 15. She wants a YouTube channel because she sees like little kids like A for Adley and Ryan's World make millions of dollars, but their parents do all of that work, and I don't have time for that.
Yeah. No.
I could barely do this podcast. But for sure, we want more people in the chat. We're going to get more people in the chat. We're going to expand the community. But hey, everyone starts somewhere.
Yep.
Everyone starts
We're
somewhere
going to get a song in and a song out
for sure.
eventually.
But yeah, I mean, this was a great, this was a really good week of content
Yes, sir.
because of what Cena did. There was some good matches sprinkled in there. But we're really on the road now. I think that set the tone. Monday night really set the tone that this WrestleMania is gonna be bigger than what we thought it was gonna be. At
Yep.
least bigger than what I thought it was gonna be.
100%.
Because Cena took it up to another level on Monday, and I think it only gets better actually from here. I think that him and Cody are really gonna have their moment in the ring where they're gonna spend about 20 minutes running each other down,
Yep.
and and I'm gonna be so there for that.
Me too.
I can't wait for that.
Me too.
But that's going to end this episode of the Island of Relevancy podcast. Frank, thanks so much for being here. Kenny,
Thank
once
you.
again. Matt, thanks again for being here. And we're going to see you guys next week. Might be on Wednesday, might be on Thursday. We'll let you guys know once there, because Frank is going to continue to win hockey playoff games.
Yes, we
And
are.
as long as he continues to win, we might have to push our date back until he's a champion. And then he has to like come with the trophy on the
I get a
podcast.
t-shirt.
Oh, okay. We'll definitely wear the t-shirt. All right. Well, we'll definitely catch you guys later. And with that, we'll play ourselves out.